Well, as you can see from the daylight, it is not the early hours of the morning. I did wake up in the early hours of the morning, but I didn't like it, so I went to work. Oh, I'm just going to look out the window. The window to my heart, looking through the window. So, yeah, I made it. Chat me. Have a chat. Anybody? Nobody wants to chat to Nigel anymore. Nigel the nomad. Talk too much. I do. Talk too much. There you go. I like talking to people, and I like to get to know them well. And then I like to extend our friendship into a shared understanding of each other. Shared. And most people don't want that. Do. We've got too much to hide, you see. Us humans, we're always hiding shit. It's all secrets and lies. No wonder there's so many conspiracy theorists and conspiracy realists. Nobody's telling the truth because it's not universal. Truth is not universal. Truth is internal. It's you. Your truth. You are the truth for you. Now, in some of my deep philosophical dives, I found this to be very interesting. In some of my less than deep, but more specific psychological dives into the psyche of man, it's a protective layer as you interact. It's a protective layer as you interact. It's like you don't give it all away. You know, if everybody went around saying exactly what they thought, word for word, as it came up, most people would be surprised at how brutal that honesty can be. Because we get triggered at every moment, that fluctuation, that moment when we go from like, I'm not going to judge this person, I'm just going to listen to them. And then you listen, you're like, fuck this guy's a looney. Or whatever, you know, I mean, whatever judgment you come up, but then it becomes judgment, and then it becomes reaction to the judgment, and then that person is already way beyond your understanding because you've already marginalized them with your ideas of what people should and should not be, could or could not be. I am what I am is the basis of my own personal psychology. Me and Popeye, I am what I am. There's a real problem in the world right now, and I believe that this problem is one of understanding communication. I mean, we can be talking exactly the same language. I mean, you know, there's whatever. I got an accent, big deal. But we could be completely missing the point. Communication This is why I keep going back to my friend Danny Katz and her wonderful books. I mean, she's good with words. Oi, oi, oi. Don't worry, I'm looking for a book. Oops. Because I can't prove to you that I read books. I don't want to prove to you that I read books. I don't need to prove to you that I read books. But I read books. And recently I've been enamored. And I must admit, it's become a little bit freaky in me. And I hope I'm not putting her off. But I'm enamored by her intelligence and her foresight on where we are, instead of being, but you see that, I mean, it's kind of like it's a little bit of a pointer towards my lack of intelligence and my need to be me, the man that I am. Yes, I am the man that I am. This book has words of wisdom for everybody, and it's a coloring book. Okay. My noises. Noises outside. I want to show you some of the beautiful pictures. I mean, there's so many. Every single page is words of wisdom. But some of the ones that have been, I took it round at Christmas. I didn't meet that many people. I mean, some relatives, etc. But they humored me, and they did some coloring in. And this is a good one too. Morphogenetic field. This one sparked a lot of conversation with the very inquisitive people that I got to color this in. Did you know that all human beings are connected through an invisible matrix of information, influence, and memory called the morphogenetic field? Well, did you know that? See, that's a good one, isn't it? Anyway, if you get the opportunity, this is the greatest New Year's gift. It's a new year, apparently, according to the Augustan calendar that most people seem to be going by in the West. So if you get the chance, buy somebody this. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing. You can actually sit there and color and just try to not think too much, but just add color to a picture, and it really helps you relax as well as informs you. Okay, but this book, The Language of Betaraki, a blueprint for uniting against tyranny. See, she kind of made a bit of a faux pas in the subtitle of this, but that's okay. The beauty of being human is you can correct your mistakes. This is, where is it? Whoop. There she is, Miss Danny Katz. Yeah, she's a wonderful human being because she's given us gifts, and given us gifts that will help us progress. And I'm sorry I'm late, but I was busy today. Busy keeping busy. I'm busy doing nothing happily all day through, trying to do all the things that I do. That's a good one too. Look at that. My mother-in-law, who is the matriarch of a very large Catholic family, gave me tea. She does not know that it's always tea time. She does not know that Alice in Wonderland is very much like a lot of my research. Maybe she does know. Maybe somewhere inside of her she does know. Who knows? Anyway, rabbit holes. Going down the rabbit hole. Oof. So there we go. Can't remember why I even wanted to talk to the screen today. Did anything come to me that was worthwhile to share? Oh yeah, the book stuff. Yeah, that's good. Oh, there's a song I did years ago. Actually, there's a song I did with a mate, and I've done with lots of mates. I mean, you know, during my illustrious and well documented and absolutely brilliantly successful life as a musician, songwriter, singer, and artist and producer, I've worked with many brilliant people. And there was this one song we did a few years ago, Derek Pippert and myself. He's a great producer and a great man. We did this song called Middle, and I've since remixed it a couple times. And there's this one remix I did, which took samples from previous things that I've done and put it in that mix. It was really a bit audacious, I suppose, but it's called the Bliss Mix, Middle Bliss Mix, and I really like it. I really listen to it fully, like without, you know, because it's hard to detach yourself from your own art. I mean, this is partially why artists need PR companies. Artists need, well, they don't need PR companies. They need business people in order to get to a wider audience, because otherwise the artist is going to say, I don't want to give it to them. They don't deserve it. They're not going to listen to it. They're not going to enjoy it. It's like, stop judging them and let somebody else help you with the business end of things. I've always had somebody help me with the business end of things, but I've ended up alone. And I think it's because most people I've associated with in my life get sidetracked very easily by, guess, go on, guess. Come on, you can guess. Money. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. It's not money itself. But what happens is you get enamored. And again, I'll use, you know, because I've just recently did the Greek explanations, you know, definitions of love, different types of love. But it's like this weird pedestalizing of money, and then the, to me, obvious next step is, wow, the people with money get pedestalized too. I mean, you just got to have a close look at governments. globally. I mean, I'm not talking about this one in America, because this one in America's completely down the pan. It always has been, always will be, because it's constantly saying that I'm in charge. When people actually have to tell you that they're in charge, you know that you've got a problem, because they're obviously not. You are. You are in charge. But yeah, this idea of the love of money, it's when it becomes the driving force for everything. You know, it's the mechanism by which the world turns. No, it's not. No, it's not. But people fall into that rather easily, actually. You know, here I am in Hollywood, and for about 10 years, maybe longer, yeah, it was longer. I worked as a production designer and art director in the film business, and I was just making money and having fun with it. And it was great whilst I was making some money and having fun with it. But I was pushed. Now that sounds like a piss poor excuse for somebody who's supposed to be his own man, which I am. Is I was pushed. I was coerced. I was convinced. I was, you know, actually I was blackmailed at one point. You know, you have to go and earn more money. And I'm like, but I'm not enjoying it anymore. It's done. It's awful. These commercials that I'm making for all sorts of nonsense that I don't want people to buy, I'm putting my name to that because I'm putting my art into that. And I don't want my art in that. In fact, many jobs I turned down because I didn't want my name associated with it. But it was all to do with commerce. It was all to do with this commerce idea that I'm going to sell you something you don't really need. And I'm going to make sure that it's really, really hammered home. You know, I mean, gosh, right now, because you know what the system is trying to do to you and to others, try and count how many pharmaceutical ads there are, commercials. Pharmaceutical companies are spending a fortune. And then here, because they've got this pretend fairness thing, they even give you all the warnings, you know, the small print shit. But they're allowed to speed it up so as it's barely decipherable. I mean, this one especially. Lies, 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 lies. So I didn't want to get involved anymore in that. I wanted to do art. I want to do art. I want to pick flowers. Yeah, but I wanted to make art that was tangible, that was really real and moved people, gave them the chills, made their emotions, like shifted them out of the norm, you know, out of the malaise. I wanted to do something musically and creatively to just remind people that love is life. You know, love it, have fun with it. But this is getting into the 20-minute mark. That means I got to stop. Why? Because it's just me ranting to me. Nobody joins me really. I mean, occasionally I get some chatty people, and you know, I'm only like doing this every day because I'm actually really surprised at YouTube. I mean, YouTube for the longest time was banning me, you know, giving me warnings about they're going to ban me. They did ban me for a little while. They didn't ban me. And then there's the shadow banning thing, which I don't want to go into detail about. But, you know, when they don't give you enough likes or nobody comments, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's like all of that was happening, you know, which is, okay, I call it personal censorship because they don't want me to have a voice, which is fine. I understand that you own this platform, this one. But it won't stop me telling the truth. You'll just stop me from telling the truth on social media, which, yeah, see how good that goes for you. Thing is, we've got to be more loving, caring, compassionate, empathetic to others, and then influence them to make their own decisions away from the obvious decisions that are being made for them outside of themselves. Just make your own decisions. I have two beautiful daughters, and they kind of, in a roundabout way, ask my opinion about something so as they can make their own decision. And I try really hard to say to them, look, you decide what's best. They know inside that they know what's best, but they're asking for a little bit of help in making their mind up on certain issues. But I'm willing to get into a discussion with anybody, but it doesn't come across that way when they ask me things about, especially when it comes down to things. Again, we'll get back to money. Money things. I don't give a toss about money. I mean, I really don't give a toss about money. I went to work today. I earned some money, but I had fun doing it, and it was different, and it was a laugh, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's okay. It wasn't much money, really. Grand scheme of things, it doesn't even pay my rent. But the point is, I had fun doing something creative and with a person who I really like, and it fulfilled my need for a little bit of money, but also my need for creativity, which is more important. Anyway, I've gone on for too long. It is, wow, it's December 30th, nearly the end of 2024 years since we started counting the years in that way. I'm going to tell you how I measure time. Ready? Daytime, nighttime. Daytime, nighttime. I love you. Try and find a way to keep yourself buoyant, to keep yourself individual, to keep yourself true to that love that is deep within you, that you need to bring forward. Try and be more loving, more kind, more caring, more empathetic, more compassionate, even to those people that you think, God, such a dick. Oh, well. I mean, sometimes the kindest thing is to walk away. It really is. Okay. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. With a big neck, patty whack, kid a dog a bone. Then someone came rolling home. What the fuck was that? Where did that come from? Merry Christmas. Be Easter soon. Yeah. We can argue about the meaning of that. Cheers then. Love you.